Welcome, Gemini, dear, for your weekly reading of November 17th to the 23rd. I'm going to do your reading for Gemini, for the native symbol of deer. Spirit guides the true and precise messages for Gemini, deer, please. Body, mind, and soul for Gemini. Mind. What's on their mind? What's the Gemini's thinking about? Okay, let me get that card that jumped. Okay, Spirit, in the heart space. What's in the heart space for that week? Oh, another one jumped. One more. Why? Okay. Okay. So, Gemini, in the 3D, in the body, what's happening is there is, Gemini seem to have 4 of Cups. They have options here that they're juggling. They have the Divine Cup before them, and they're receiving the insights and messages from the Divine Source, the intuition, synchronicities to say, now's the time, now's the, you need to choose correctly. But this person is sitting here meditating and still weighing the options, not necessarily putting these aside, so still contemplating and meditating on which to choose, even though the Divine has given them messages that they need to choose correctly. Okay, and since they still were meditating on that, they go into the hermit mode. You're going to be contemplating this. You are trying to focus on the light, but it's for some reason you can't see which one is the Divine, even though it's right in front of your face. Maybe it's because of the twisted view, especially with Mercury retrograde. There's a twisted illusion. The way you're seeing it is twisted, and so they can't see that the Divine Cup is right in front of them. When the Cup of Love is not chosen. Thank you, Spirit. So he doesn't choose. This person is thinking that if they can't decide, not sure, they'll focus on that, but they're not making the choice on the Divine Cup of Love, the Ace of Cups, the one that needs to be full and overflowing, and that's the self-love first, and then they can come in and offer love to someone else. But this is the cup saying that they need to first fill their own cup, and it's not filled. But they're still trying to figure out which cup, and these all look empty here. They're focused on the flame connection of passion, but they haven't filled their own cup yet, Spirit says. So they need to go in and give themselves unconditional love. They refuse to do the hangman, refuse to see it from another perspective, and that's what the point of the hangman situation is to uproot old beliefs, look at the synchronicity, look at the symbols and signs that Spirit gives you so that you can see the light, the new, your new path, the uprooted belief system, so that you can choose the divine light, the path that is lit for you. Thank you, Spirit. But this person's refusing to see that from a different perspective, to follow the light. Alright, and then their mind space, they think they're moving forward on a squirrel, very slow. They have their pentacle for a shield. They are in their truth. Their mask is off. They are receiving only, or they feel as though they're only receiving acorns of information, like a trail to lead them in the right path. So this person is Knight of Pentacles, moving as slow as a squirrel. I don't know how reliable transportation that would be, but Temperance is here to balance things out, to give them, probably to force them into that hangman position, or to make them choose correctly. They're balancing things out so things can bloom, things can come to fruition, so they can see the light, the sunrise over the fields. And this is what they're thinking about. They're thinking, you know, they need balance. They need to be able to see the sunrise, the light at the end of the tunnel. This is in their mind space. So they're thinking that they're in the storm and they have to protect their loyalty, they have to protect their intuition, they have to protect all their worldly goods of their gold here and their pentacles. So as an Eight of Pentacles, they're using that to build a shelter for these things that they want to protect. And they're trying to think of how they can do that. How can I build more of my pentacles? How can I still be loyal, follow my intuition? How can I build more pentacles? And this is causing in their mind a battle. They're battling themselves. They're blindfolding themselves and swinging at a bee's nest in their mind. So this would be like what I always refer to as monkey mind. They're thinking things, overanalyzing. You are an air sign, though, which overanalyze. Nine of Cups, still feeling as though they have those choices, right? But not seeing that the one is from the divine, this is the genie in the bottle kind of guy. He's right there pointing out, this is the cup, but yet you're still lying in them up, and some have fish in them. So you're not looking at the value that's in the cup that the divine is giving you, which is the star in your heart. You see that you have many options, even though some are fish. You're not seeing in your heart. You're not feeling which one is from the divine. The star, the one the divine has sent for you to balance your emotions, to give you enlightenment. Your spirit guides are all there speaking to you, and you feel that in your heart space with the lotus petals or flowers here. You're in your passion, you're in your emotions. You feel the connection. Thank you, Spirit. So justice is coming in your heart space. You think you deserve justice. You're in your heart. You want justice. You want balance. But you only receive heartbreak with this tower moment that's going to come down because of the monkey mind, because you refuse to see things from another perspective, bringing the energy down to your heart. That this is causing the tower moment in your life, throwing you off your game, more or less, throwing you from the tower, crumbling down to the ground with death here, poking at you, say, get up and move. The time is now. You need to choose. You're going to choose the one being tossed from the tower. You're going to choose the one that's staying by your side. Let's clarify. It doesn't always have to be love relationship. It always could be replaced with work if you have multiple job offers. Let's clarify the Four of Cups in their moment, in the reading. Three of Pentacles, putting in the work, trying to decide, but with the Four of Cups, but you think you've got to work at it. You're not seeing that the signs are there from the divine, that it's right before you. You think you still have to put work into finding it. Like there's another option. Clarify the Ace of Cups in reverse. Clarify the Ace of Cups in reverse. Not giving self-love. And then Eight of Cups. Knight of Cups, my bad. Knight of Cups wanting to come in with this cup of love, but if you look at this, they can't steer the horse. The horse doesn't have a bridle on. The horse is just going to stand there. And the cup is not even, they're not taking that cup of love serious because it's kind of tipped to the side like everything's spilling out. Perhaps not taking the situation seriously, the partnership, the situationship. Clarifying the reverse. Nothing. Clarify reverse hangman. Wow. I don't know why they refuse to look at it. Because they have too many. When they wanted more options, they literally had more options. So, they didn't want to look at it from a different perspective because they have other options. They don't want to. They want to keep their options open. Thank you, Spirit. But the Six of Swords says somebody's moving forward. They're not going to be an option. So perhaps that's your divine one person. The Queen of Wands here was in communication, waiting for you, but everything dried up and died all around her while she waited for you. You can see everything dead around her. And the Page of Wands was tired of waiting for the communication, so she too took foot and headed over the hills. And Justice came in and put an end with the Ten of Swords to all the stabbing in the back that you did to the multiple options. Or perhaps you were one of the options. But this is what happened to the person that wasn't choosing the divine choice. Okay, the Magician on the Knight of Pentacles here, he's which would take probably being a magician to ride the squirrel, but just saying. This could also be a teachable moment I'm getting from the Magician, because while she has all the tools inside her to manifest this new beginning of what she's thinking of doing, or perhaps she's only thinking of how she could manifest, and I say she because it's a girl in the card. But it also looks like she's trying to teach someone by holding her hand up. It looks like she's teaching something. So perhaps this was a lesson someone had to learn, or the higher self was teaching the Knight of Pentacles. This is in their mind space. Clarify this Eight of Pentacles. Okay. With Nine of Pentacles, progression. Building those coins and then resting, thinking that they want to build more pentacles with the 9 progression, and ending up with the, in their mind space, 4 of Swords, needing to rest, hanging up the swords and taking, I don't know why I say taking a nap, but taking a rest, giving it a rest. Thank you, Spirit. But yet when they rest, all they can think about is the swords. All they can think about is the battles, the fighting. Clarify the 501. Yeah, this king thinks in his mind that he's a king, holding his sword down, not in truth. Kind of bit of a player look there. Not that he usually is, but that is the energy on the card. 9 of Cups, not seeing what again, not seeing what was there, even in the heart space, not feeling the connection, feeling the connection, but not choosing it, feeling the connection, but not choosing it. Oh, okay. Spirit. Got a lot here. Hang on. So, 9 of Cups was not, they were feeling the connection, but not choosing it out of all these options. The Ace, they wanted the new beginning with the Ace of Pentacles, knowing that she was of 7 of Pentacles, one of their options must be. One was an Ace of Pentacles, comparing the abundant, thank you, Spirit, comparing, feeling it, but not choosing it, because while one may have only had 1 pentacle, one may have had 7 pentacles, so comparing the options, thank you, Spirit, and seeing to, in comparison to what they bring to the table. So the King of Wands here was, had his communication, and the prowess, though, of the Lioness and Lion energy. And as a King of Pentacles, he felt that he was earthly, in his he was in his King of Pentacles energy, didn't want to choose something beneath him getting, but finally took the leap of, wanted to take the leap of faith forward with the Fool card, because he knew who the star was, but he wasn't choosing it. Justice came in, showing them that the High Priestess was the one that was going to give him the 10 of Pentacles, but he had to turn his back on that third party. Which the Tower came in because of all this energy, giving him death, not him personally or her, but death to the situation. Had to put down the burdens that were no longer serving them, and showing them once again the 4 of Cups to see, give them another chance and say, are you going to choose correctly? It's right here. It's glowing. Is it not obvious? Right? Okay. Gemini, I don't know which is. You can reverse the energies. In other words, Gemini would be the person not choosing. But if the energies in reverse flip and you're one of the options, then certainly you can flip the energy. Same with gender. If genders don't matter, you can flip that as well, as it resonates. If it doesn't resonate, that's okay. It's not your story. Anything else, Spirit, for the Gemini viewers? Ooh. Heal yourself, Gemini, so that you get that 10 of Cups. Okay. And 3. And releasing soul patterns, releasing contracts in past lives. Contracts could be the karmic contract of marriage. Your past lives. Go in and do the healing. Cut cords to past lives. And heal so that your soul patterns can heal. Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? What is your soul purpose? What is your mission? Okay. If you'd like a private reading, it's sacredspiritualhealer@gmail.com. Thank you, and I hope you have a blessed week.